Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ansha Umairah binti Abdullah and I will be the first presenter for this presentation. And the case study for our audit assignment is about HSBC money laundering scandal. So, let's not waste our time. Let's begin the presentation. I will explain to you what is accounting fraud. Accounting fraud is a global issue affecting small, medium, and large companies. It involves intentionally misrepresenting or altering accounting documents to gain monetary benefit. Examples include stock value inflation, debt avoidance, and favorable financing. Legally, those involved may face financial criminal charges. Falsification of financial statement is common, which asset, revenue overstated, and liabilities understated. Accounting software can help address this issue by ensuring accurate financial reporting and preventing fraudulent activities. Next, let's talk about what is tone on the top. Tone on the top is ethical and behavior tone set by an organizational leadership, influencing employees' behavior and influencing middle management. A poor tone can lead to unethical behavior, fraudulent activities, and lack of internal control. An example is John, a senior manager in billing collection at ABC company, who overheard upper-level management discussing a scheme to manipulate financial records. The case study reveals that HSBC leadership tone raised concern about ethical business practice, transparency, and anti-money laundering regulation. Factors contributing to this assessment include potential risk, lack of transparency, delayed disclosure, legal and ethical concern, historical contact, questionable risk mitigation practice, and political regulation response. The study also suggests that the effectiveness of HSBC effort to prevent financial misconduct and risk mitigation practice may be scrutinized. The next point is let's talk about asymmetry information or information failure occur when one party in an economic transaction has more knowledge than the other, often in the sale of a good or service. This can occur in the sale of an item or in the specialization and division of knowledge in an economic trade. Asymmetry information is beneficial to an economy and society in increasing efficiency as it allows one party to take advantage of another party. There are three cases that can reveal asymmetry information. The first one is HSBC versus Gupta. HSBC discover three firms linked to the Gupta involved in bribes and money laundering, but deny Gupta involvement in a $4.2 billion network, making it difficult to hold them accountable. The second cases is internal HSBC knowledge versus public knowledge. HSBC redacted internal report contain confidential information about suspicious action and investigation, causing a power imbalance, as the bank owned crucial information that could impact public trust and regulation decisions. The third cases is HSBC versus Zyga monitoring team. The DOJ appointed monitoring team found HSBC staff evasive and reluctant to share information, potentially withholding crucial detail about suspicious activities and control measures. They raises concerns about transparency, accountability, and the effectiveness of anti-money laundering efforts. So, let's talk about the role and responsibility of the board of directors as mentioned in agency theory. The board of directors, according to agency theory, is crucial in separating shareholder interests from management. They oversee strategies innovative, evaluate financial performance, and develop ethical rules to prevent fraud. They also select and remove senior executives, holding them accountable for performance. The board also provides strategic guidance, link the company with stakeholders, and aids in crisis management. The balance profit and expansion with responsible and ethical behavior, ensuring the company operate with legal and regulatory framework. So, based on HSBC case, the board of directors is crucial in HSBC investigation into a potential money laundering network, ensuring compliance with anti-money laundering legislation and fostering a culture of openness and ethical behavior. They must establish robust internal control, risk management method, and cooperate with independent monitor to prevent significant consequence for the bank and its stakeholder. So next point is let's talk about human bias and personal interest that mentioned in agency theory. Agency theory highlight the importance of understanding human biasness and personal interest in conflict between principal and agent. Human bias such as overconfidence and anchoring can lead to agent prioritizing their own interests, potentially harming the principal financial goal. Personal interest, which can be financial, career-related, or personal, can lead to conflict with the agent interest diverge from the principal goal. Identifying and mitigating this bias can crucial for designing effective agency relationship, which can involve strong monitoring mechanisms, aligning incentive, and fostering transparency and accountability. So, HSBC action regarding a suspected money laundering network may have been influenced by human bias and personal interest. The bank may not have shared information with US regulator 2012 monitoring team, raising questions about transparency and fairness. Accountants linked to the network were not immediately flagged for closure, indicating potential bias or personal interest. The lack of transparency may be driven by a reluctance to investigate deeper, potentially compromising regulatory oversight. Now, let's move to the last point for my part, which is diffusory duty. The diffusory duty of a board of directors is an ethical and legal obligation that requires board members to act in the best interest of the company and its shareholder. This duty involves trust, loyalty, and financial well-being. Director must prioritize the company interest over personal interest to avoid conflict of interest. They must stay informed, monitor financial performance, and provide effective oversight of management. Failure to do so may result in legal consequence. The HSBC case highlight the importance of the board of director fiduciary duty in overseeing the bank operations and adherence to legal and ethical standards. The revelation of multi-billion-dollar money laundering network raises questions about the board commitment to transparency and regulatory compliance. Failure to disclose information may indicate of breach of fiduciary duty, as the board is obligated to prioritize the company well-being over personal interests. So, I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Dalia. I will continue our presentation about HSBC fraud. HSBC Bank violated anti-money laundering laws by facilitating the laundering of $881 million for drug cartel to Sinaloa and Norte del Valle. The process of money laundering allows illegitimate money to enter the legal financial system. Additionally, HSBC conduct large cash transfer with little oversight or control from the Bank Mexican branch to United States. Between 2006 and 2010, HSBC Bank USA breached the Bank Secrecy Act (BSA) and its associated law. The risk of money laundering caused by doing business with Mexican clients were disregarded by HSBC Bank USA. It failed to implement an appropriate Bank Secrecy Act (BSA) or an anti-money laundering (AML) program to monitor uncertain Mexican transactions. They exploit lax Mexican regulation and the black market peso exchange scheme to convert drug profits into legitimate revenue. The use of HSBC Bank USA for BMPE transaction was revealed during a drugs and money laundering investigation conducted by the United States Attorney Office for the Eastern District of New York in collaboration with the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement El Dorado Task Force in New York. According to an investigation, multiple HSBC Mexico accounts were linked to BMPE activities in 2008, according to the Department of HSBC Bank USA and HSBC Holdings. HSBC even opened fake accounts in the Cayman Islands for cartel members, but there were no such physical branch, and everything was done on desktop computers at Mexico City HSBC Tower. There are 60,000 accounts were opened in just a few months, with many of them requiring no ID and document. In 2005, Bloomberg Markets magazine accused HSBC for laundering money for drug dealers and terrorist state sponsors. Stephen Green, the CEO of HSBC, then declared that there was an unusual and irresponsible assault on the bank's global compliance standard. Despite initial denials, investigation confirmed their involvement and resulted in $1.9 billion fine. The case highlights that the significant risk of money laundering and the need for stricter regulation to prevent financial institutions from adding criminal activities. Who is the whistleblower in these cases? His name is Everett Stern. A former US candidate and renowned whistleblower, is the CEO and intelligence director of Tactical Rabbit. Tactical Rabbit is a leading private intelligence firm. His commitment to transparency and justice led him to exposing a major banking scandal and subsequently found Tactical Rabbit. Tactical Rabbit offering expert solutions in business, legal, and national security intelligence. When Everett Stern started HSBC Bank in 2012, his job was to keep an eye on transactions in the Middle East. Stern quickly found out that the bank was openly breaking U.S. law by assisting terrorist groups and large-scale drug dealers in transferring hundreds of millions of dollars. However, Stern's bank executive disregarded his advice. Due to this, Stern was compelled to give the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency, information and proof on the bank illicit transaction. Rolling Stone would later report that Stern decided to turn whistleblower, telling the FBI and other agencies what was going on at the bank after trying in vain to convince his bosses to at least let him do his job and look for money laundering. Stern then quit HSBC in disgust and filed a whistleblower claim with the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Yes, Assalamualaikum, and my name is Alif Iqbal, and I'm going to present about the pressure, opportunities, and negotiation for the case study of HSBC. So, what the HSBC face and that they may want them to do fraud is firstly pressure. As we know, the deal of accused for transaction involving drug cartels and terrorist organization, as well as the allowing client to avoid tax and some asset concealing. The involvement in this case can be very pressure, and what are the pressure is the profitability pressure. HSBC, like any other financial institution, operate in a highly competitive market. In order to maintain profitability and satisfy the shareholder expectation from various players, The bank may have felt pressure to engage in further activity to boost or to increase its financial performance, as we know about around 100 billion. And the next pressure is the regulatory pressure. HSBC are subject to stringent regulation to prevent money laundering and financial of illegal activities. They were under scrutiny from regulators due to weak anti-money laundering controls and practices of the procedure. The pressure on which to bypass this regulation may have led to this fraudulent behavior. The third pressure they face is the internal organization pressure. The HSBC operate in various countries with different legal, custom, and cultural frameworks. Managing operations across multiple jurisdictions can create complexity and challenge or difficulty. The pressure to meet targets and deadlines in the currency may have led to shortcut and fraudulent behavior. And for the fourth pressure level is the motivational pressure. The or we can also know as incentive pressure. The incentive structure within the organization can also play a role in this encouraging further activities. If employees and managers are rewarded based on short-term financial performance and wish much of big revenue or profit, they may likely to engage in further practice to achieve the goal, and it has happened. Next is the opportunities for the employee of HSBC to make them do the fraud. Uh, as the fraud opportunity happening in this case, the first one is the manipulation of financial records. The employee actually had falsified and manipulated financial records to hide their activities such as unauthorized transaction, misappropriation of funds, or unauthorized loans. But in this case, which was more like transaction activity, the HSBC make some changes with the record of their revenue. They make their revenue come from selling legitimate goods. Like for example, changing it to daily goods, tissue, or bottled drink, when it actually they're from illegal drug, which hundreds of $1,000 profit. And the next opportunity that rise, which in the organization is the collision with the external parties. They collide with external parties. The HSBC will collide with external parties such as the client, vendors, or management to create efficient transaction. This activity can be difficult to detect during an audit, such as happening with the trading of currency between US dollar and the peso of Colombia. They exchange it to get money to get return of money by selling legal goods. For the next one is bribery. Has ABC could request or accept bribe from vendor or clients in exchange for providing them contact or fiscal treatment or manipulating or defunding. By contract is like from the media, if they give more money, if they follow their instruction or order or request, they will be given a lot of money from a long-term sales, like how they sell the goods, the legal goods, and how with the revenue is making up the money. A lot of bribe have happened. The drug dealer company, the HSBC, are turning money from Colombian peso and return by the legal goods, recover their profit. And the bribery that happened are some are businessmen in Colombia that has take part in this, and with some they are able to process the money and profit from their illegal drug trades. The next opportunity for them to do fraud is the conflict of interest. The employee of HSBC has engaged in activity that create conflict of interest, such as the BC setting gift. In this case, gift is more like uh, gratuitory gift, like money or promise from contract. This can be seen as some advertisement from company are taking part during the exchange of currency or meanwhile to gain profit so that information will be made in the sale. Almost all senior and also almost all the senior management of HSBC take part in the legal drug money laundering service and turn a blind eye to what is meant from them so that they can gain more money or benefit for themselves too. And lastly, the opportunity that arises for them is the reporting false document. Employees within the department had annually provide false certificates to auditors, director or senior management to hide fraudulent activity or to create a favorable impression of the bank financial health. All of the targeted interviews which the auditor had given report that the financial statement are clean and free from breaking the law. But why is but instead it really breaking the law, as you can see do the the money HSBC scandal involved the Glory Bank, which was revealed through an audit investigation. The issue revolved around HSBC failure to comply with anti-money laundering regulation and involvement in facilitating the illegitimate activities. The money service that made it illegal to legal are big issue that may affect the investigated and wrongdoing and by breaking the laws. To rationalize the issue raised concern about the bank internal control system and independence of their risk management process. Auditors will be interested in examining whether HSBC had implemented adequate measures to prevent financial crime and whether these measures were professionalized. The audit process in this case will involve reviewing HSBC policy and procedure related to anti-money laundering and customer due diligence. Auditors should assess the adequacy of this control and look for vulnerability or gaps in the procedure system. They should analyze the bank recognition process in terms of risk assessment, risk mitigation, and compliance with relevant regulation. And the second recommendation for this is the auditors should evaluate HSBC response which is the matter issue at hand. This include immediate action taken to address weakness identified. They should also assess the bank progress when settling their internal control environment and implementing preventive measures. In this case, will be to provide an independent assessment of HSBC compliance with anti-money laundering regulation and the effectiveness of their internal control system. So that's all from me. Thank you.
I'm Ernida Safitri, so I will explain about consequence or effect penalty imposed about HSBC. Here I have 3 points. First, the auditor, the company and the management. Back in 2016, Deloitte, the main auditor for HSBC, faced a lot of criticism for missing money laundering activity. They settled with the US Department of Justice for 140 million, showing that auditor need to do a better job and spotting risk and problem. HSBC was hit with a hard 1.92 billion fine for failing to stop money laundering. This led to more rule and really hurt their reputation. The big boss, including the CEO, have to step down, showing that leaders are responsible for mistake. The next point is shareholder, which is investor lost money due to lower stock price and dividends. Provide that clear reporting is vital for investor trust. So the next point is a relevant party, which is the scandal made the rules tougher, but it also hurt HSBC reputation and business. The HSBC may show the need for honesty, good behavior and better risk spotting in finance. So I will pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rosmawati. So today I will talk about the conclusion for these cases. So to sum up, it should be noted the HSBC money laundering incident constitute a serious violation of ethical and legal responsibility within the international financial sector. This is because HSBC is one of the biggest and most powerful bank in the world, is implicated in a complicated network of illegal financial activities that include money laundering for terrorist groups and drug cartels. Next, Deloitte, was also known as a lead auditor, has received criticism and penalized for failing to find evidence of money laundering throughout their audits. So the corporation HSBC US took the brunt of the controversy, facing a startling 1.92 billion punishment, greater regulatory scrutiny, and a damaged brand that cost them clients and the public trust. In this case also, it highlights the personal repercussions of engaging in such illegal activity and highlight the leadership accountability for non-compliance. Due to the drop of HSBC stock price and lower dividend payments, investors experienced financial hardship, underscoring the direct effect on investors. Not only that, the controversy also brought that about a change in the industry norms and law, which increased the focus on anti-money laundering efforts in a financial sector. To maintain the security of the financial system, an effective and progressive framework is essential. So, to put it simply, HSBC money laundering incident is an obvious illustration of the vital role financial institutions perform in preserving the security of the world financial system. It emphasized how important it is to maintain the constant concentration, strong internal controls, and a moral leadership in order to stop illegal activity, which can have a serious repercussion for the sector, its members, and society as a whole. Next, I will talk about what have we learned when completing this assignment. So there's a lot of lesson we can get from these cases, which is Everett Stern is one of the whistleblowers who play a critical role in revealing corporate misconduct. So the role of whistleblower is crucial in exposing unethical or unlawful activities occurring within the organization. So the repercussion HSBC suffers, such as the huge penalties and the departure of key executives, highlight how crucial corporate accountability is. Not only that, these cases also raise ethical concerns concerning organizational decision making. Employees and leaders must prioritize ethical behavior in the context of challenges, possibilities, and rationalization. The repercussions of unethical decision might include harm to reputation and legal repercussions in addition to financial penalties. Moreover, this assignment has taught us several things, including how to write better and develop our research abilities. We are required to create a report on the cases, which help us acquire better at writing. Furthermore, by reading, we were able to learn more about the money laundering fraud instances between HSBC and US. We are also able to investigate several hypotheses and illustrations related to our topic and chapter. That's all from our group. Thank you.